check into the West Coast AMI-net. This is Skip in Santa Monica. K6LGO with M9AMI there near the capital city of Nevada. K6LGO, standing by.
Yeah, W6 Yankee, Echo Charlie in there, Skip.
Oh, we got YEC, and I thought there was somebody else in there with you, George. Good evening.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil. Check in with Skip. He didn't catch it.
Okay, LTL N6WHK. Checking in here with you guys, Skip. Do you copy?
K6VWS. And we got Ron in there, too. Good evening to you, Ron. KD6VWS. Glad to have you on board there. Well, so you see, we're getting a good group together there. John is checking his site there, so let's see if he has a chance to look up. And then we'll kick it back to you guys. N9AMI K6LGO.
Okay. Yeah, I went on there. I don't see you listed as a member, Skip. There's just 4 people, including myself. So that's it. I'm not exactly sure what the issue is, but maybe I should just resend you the invitation, because I mean, I'm not really looking to be the man of the hour and run, you know, I'll just, you know, set the thing up at, like you said, as a courtesy. You definitely should be, you know, the boss man there at least, and I'd like to see you on there. I'll send you another invite, and I sent myself an invite to a different email address the other day, thinking, well, maybe something screwy, but it looked fine. And accept the invitation, you click on the little link, and baboomski, you're good. But I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I sent the email to your address, to your site, in other words. Not to the link that you asked her of. And did not kick it back, so it did go through. So I don't know where it ended up. It's that second time now. Okay. Well, we'll work that out. Anyway, consider me a member, whether I formally answered or not. I'm doing it formally on the air, obviously, and we appreciate you sort of giving us an extension and another way to communicate and to probably, you know, extend our net capabilities. So George, over to you, and then to Phil, and then over to Ron. And then, but before you do, let's take another standby and see perhaps Jay is in there, or Paul, anybody else. K6LGO for the early SwanNet. Oh, there you are, Jay. Good evening. All right. So, since you got good conditions, you'll be right after Phil there, WHK. No, after Ron, VWS there, okay? Ron, you turn it over to Jay. So, over to you there, George. K6, little green light. Good evening, and hey, let's get the show on the road.
Okay, very good. I don't, W6YEC. I don't know what rig you're using, John. Sure sounds good, but I zeroed in on you, and it ended up at 3895.25. And so, Skip, you're a little high, and maybe Ron was, and Jay, you were real high. So, anyway, maybe we could all kind of zero in. I'm using the modern radio tonight, so, and John might be too. Anyway, we're right on the 3895.25. And watching myself on my spectrum scope here, and got my remote set up, not in a remote condition in the sense of controlling. I'm just kind of looking at my new remote software that I put on, I don't know, about a month and a half or 2 ago, and I haven't used it much. I've got to take this computer out and check it out that way. But it works. I just got HRD back up running, and it's remoting also, but it doesn't have audio. I have to use Skype. But I set it up for digital, and was playing around on PFK 31. I hadn't done that for many years. I never was into it. But I was talking with my friend Chris there. So that was kind of fun to learn that, to learn how to set it up and all. So it's one of the things that we've been messing around with. And John, I did answer you too. I don't know if among the four there, if my name is on there. Now, what I noticed is all the groups are listed there. So I'm part of the vintage group and, you know, some other stuff. And so I listened to that recording. Thank you very much. That's kind of fun. But I thought I answered. So unless we're doing something wrong on this end, which is highly possible. Anyway, so you might let me know if you've got me on there, because I thought I answered your invitation. Anyway, decided to just hang in here on the 7600 tonight. I've been messing around with it. I had it on 160 with Phil and Paul and the guys, Tony. So I decided, why go over to the other side of the room, just sit here, I'm comfortable. Got my computer here, I got SDR on there if I need it. But I wanted to play around with this this remote deal too and see how that would be functioning. I got my power way down. And so we're running the Dentron on here, but with the power cranked way back, which I like to do. And I know what I was going to do. See if I got this thing here. Hold on just a minute and see where I am at. I thought I had. Oops. Oh, hold on. I guess I got out of Firefox. I was in Firefox and on KFS. Because I like to look at the spectrum scope there and make sure that we're not splattering too much here, and so there I am, and it doesn't look too shabby. So I think I'm okay. So I like to do that, then I'm ready to go in case if we need this. Oh, wait a minute, let me do this here. This might help me a little bit better. And forgive me for messing around here. And 9525, so I'm gonna get this thing dialed. Oops, dialed in. Oh, come on, my mouse is wanting to play games with me here. So I don't know what this is. And let me just get this thing in, then I'm gonna. Hold on just a minute here. My mouse keeps bringing up something else that I don't know what it is. I don't want it on there. And I was trying to dial this thing in. Putting the microphone down helped. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see. Take a look there. Yeah, it's clean. Clean. That's what I wanted to see. All right. Let's give it over to Phil. And I know he's tired, but he sacrificed to be with us. How about that? Yay for Phil. And then Phil to Ron, and Ron over to Jay, I guess is the way it goes. And back to, is it back to Skip or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, N6. WHK, take it away. W6YEC.
W6YEC, N6WHK. A fine business. Yeah, only night I get to play with my little Swan rig here, and tonight I've been using it on everything and enjoying the radio. I figured if I don't use it, I don't learn to use it. So anyway, good evening to everybody there. I'm so far, I'm copying everybody. I'm not on the computer listening. I'm going to try that so I can see what the scope looks like there. George, just for the heck of it. Today was a very interesting day. I got absolutely nothing done or accomplished. Planted a few little plants and tried to pin my turtle up so he won't eat the plants I'm putting out. Build a little fence so he's over trapped in the one side of the yard where he can't hurt anything. I shouldn't call him a little turtle. He's about the size of a dinner plate. I've raised him since he was a baby. I had the female and the male at one time, and they started laying eggs, and I brought the eggs in, put them in an incubator, and I got 7 to 8 of them. I've given 90% of them away. I got one left, and I'm going to get rid of him. Because I just don't have the time, or the energy, or the gumption to get up and mess with him. He needs somebody to pay more attention to him. He's a neat turtle, where turtles go. He knows where a refrigerator is. He knows food comes out of a refrigerator. I think that was the first thing he learned as a baby. And he hasn't forgotten it. But the problem is, I can't plant anything. Everything I plant, he wants to eat. So I always have to spit him out. Everybody, like I said, is sounding beautiful tonight. No problem copying anybody. I did turn on the KSS just to see if, what the patterns look like. And you guys talk about it, and I've never tried that. So it's something new. And with that, I'm going to give it to my friend over at Joshua Tree. KD6 DWS, November 6th, Whiskey Hotel Kilo.
All right, Bill, the N6 WHK, the Swan Group, KD6 VWS. And, yeah, everybody's coming in great. Skip and John and you, Bill, and George and Jay. Yeah, some of you are 40 over, some are 30 over. You're about 25 over there, Phil. And, George, you were in pretty close to 40 over. And John was hitting about 40 over, 35 over. So, darn good signals tonight. And I'm on the Swan 350C. So, let me send it down to you, or over to you, to the west of me there, Jay. WB6MWL, KD6VWS. Okay, very good, Ron. KD6VWS, WB6MWL. Yeah, good signal tonight. I hope I'm on frequency. I'm on the SCX5. It hasn't been on too long here, so it might be drifting a little bit here. And it drifts some. And then it settles down. But I do have a Swan 1 meter in line, so I am using something from Swan here. But yeah, everybody sounds real good here. I tried to zero beat George there since he was on the ICOM. I figured that was pretty accurate. So it may have moved a little bit since then. So I guess that's it here. Not too much going on out here. Just waiting for the rain. I hope we get some. We're supposed to get some Tuesday night or Wednesday here, so I hope that happens. Because everything's pretty dry out here. I worked out in the yard today, and man, every time you dig out a weed or something, it seems like dust flies. So it just that rain the other day didn't do much. We had almost a half inch here, but I guess that's all soaked in. So let me turn it back over to Skip there. K6LGL in the Swan Group, WB6MWL. Okay, Jay. Good transmission from all of you, WB6MWL. And the Swan, that's K6LGL. Well, very good. I noticed when I turned a little off frequency on you, Phil, there's a slight bit of carrier, and it's fairly strong. So you might try belling that out a little bit. It should be down to about 40 dB, just probably down about 25 to 30 or something like that. So that could be zero at the carrier a little bit. And you sound good on the 7600 there. No, that's good. That's got a precision time base, so it stays on frequency. Most of us with our variable oscillators don't do as well. Also, I tell you, my own 920 is pretty good, and so is the 820. But then, you know, it has got a slightly different circuit. Actually, it's a form of a DDS, except that perhaps the time base may you sound very good there. Nice signal on your particular piece of equipment there. So let's get back to our friend John. And John, were you able to find my email? I addressed it to your website, but not to the address. But this is on my second try, so officially consider me as acknowledged your invitation. Even if you may not have a digital record, but you have an analog record of it. NIAMI and the fine group, and then you pass it over to George and we'll do another. But in the meantime, take another standby. We still would like to hear from Paul, K2LMQ, if he's around, or anybody else for that matter. Everybody's welcome as long as you've got something that is more of a Duke type rig and an interest in Swan. Herb Johnson's various projects. K6LG out, so before you take it, John, let's take a pause. K2LMQ. Hey, there you are. Welcome back. We missed you, Paul. Let's take a standby and give Paul a chance there. Paul, how you been? I thought maybe you were ill or you're out of town or something. K2LMQ and the Swan Group, K6LGL. K6LGL and the group, K2LMQ. Good evening all. Good that everybody's here. I'm not sure who's here, but it'll be good to chat with you. All is well. I've just been preoccupied on other stuff, and on some nights there's been rain in the area, so I've had to keep the antenna grounded and what have you. And some nights the conditions have been terrible. I got on, I don't know, a week or so ago with John, and it was horrible. I just couldn't hear much of anything. But you're rolling in strong tonight, Skip. Let's see. Oh, I got my second COVID shot today. So that's a major plus. And that's the story. I'm on the 350 and with the 30S1 running in a low power position, probably about a kilowatt PEP. And I haven't been on this rig in a long time, and it might drift for a bit because I just turned it on. K6LGO, K2LMQ. Okay, Paul, welcome back. As I said, we wanted earlier on, but I guess with conditions and so on, so you try to play it safe there and ground the antenna. Understand. Glad you're well and all that. Okay, stand by. You will be in the rotation. You will be after Ron, or rather after Jay, WB6NWL. We just wanted to get you in there and see if you were okay. So over to you, John. 10-9 AMI. Our illustrious webmaster, K6LGL, the Swan Group.
Okay, K6LGL and 9 AMI. Very good, very good. I looked, I see you nowhere, and I even looked in the email, actually email account that I used to send it. Well, actually it's not sending it, the email account that shows me as the administrator, and look, maybe you sent it direct to the Gmail for some reason, and nothing in the junk box, nothing anywhere. So I don't know. We'll try it again. But if you get it again, just click on the link. It's not going to send you to the IRS or anything. It's just saying that you want to be a member. That's the only way I can probably get you in there, unless there's a manual way I can do it. But I don't think there is, so we'll figure it out. And George, I think I got any comments from you, but you are on the list. George is on there, on the member list. Paul's on the member list. JKN's on the member list, and myself. That's it. So, I don't know. Anyways, we'll figure it out. It's not the end of the world anyway. So, like you said, it's analog. What else? Oh, let's see, radio stuff. This'll make you go ha ha. So I haven't had the 610 on the air in a while, and I just been changing some stuff around in here. Been busy with other stuff, and I said, you know, I never went in there and actually did a tube check just to see what the status is. Put them in the Hickok and test them out. So pull out the 6L6, 100%, good tube. And I'm on the 807s, and I pull the. I can't quite get the anode cap off safely enough to my liking to where I think I'm going to break something. So I pop the tube out of the socket and unscrew the line for the anode clip. And so I'm standing there with it, and I saw it just pop right off. You know, it was kind of left, right. Yeah, the whole damn thing came off. The wires hanging there. I says, I have no 807s. I says, wonderful. Used to have about 10 of those a number of years ago. That got rid of them. Of course, that's the case, right? So I tried the old mill a little solder in the bottom of that thing, and then heat it up and stick it on there, and yeah, that didn't work too well either. Did the epoxy thing, that didn't work too well. So yeah, no good. Off the eBay. Kind of a rip-off what some of these people want. I found a couple of used ones, and I bought two because, I'm glad I did, because today I stuck the other 807 in the Hickok, in the tester, and the thing's like 15-20%. Piece of junk. So, I'll have to wait a week or so till I get that stuff. The thing's sitting there. I kind of wanted to get on a bit and play. But that's how it goes. So, and that's how it goes with this stuff if you don't have backups of backups. But oh well, it just kind of funny. So good thing I've got the other smaller setup with the amp, and it actually does more power out anyway. So okay, let's see. Over to George and everybody. By the way, everybody. 20 to 40 over. Paul, you broke my meter, so I put the switch on high. So hopefully I'm giving you the same, you know, rope-a-dope back in your direction. All right, George, over to you, buddy. N9 AMI in the Swan Group.
Contact
WA6JKN remote.
Got you there, Kevin. You'll be after K2LMQ. Welcome aboard. Go ahead, George. Contact for John. Go ahead. W7MS. I'm a little late for the net. Yeah, I got your invitation, John. But there's plenty of 807s in Reno if you'd like a few extras. I've got a garage full.
Well, thank you, sir. I'll shoot you an email, maybe take you up on that.
You bet. And Skip, please have me on the list. I was a little late, but I'm here now, and this is exciting. This SwanNet W7MS. Thank you. Well, welcome aboard, Mike, and thank you for helping out. I use an 807 to drive my 572Bs in the Swan 400. So if you've got an extra one and you don't know what to do, send it my way. I'm a little short of them. I got a whole bunch of 1625s, but not 807s. All right, so there we go. Welcome aboard, both of you there. And you will be after JKN there, Mike. So stick around. We got quite a group here. That'll be a 6YEC, K6L gel.
Yeah, okay. Very good, Skip. Everybody else, W6 YEC. Right back. And excellent. It's good to have you in there, Kevin. Remote. You sounded pretty good on the remote. So I wondered, sitting here thinking, wondering if Kevin's going to get in there with the remote. So glad you did. Mike, your big, strong signal there. And nice to hear you. Yeah, I was going to say I've got some too. So it doesn't look like you're going to be hurting there, John, for 807. So since they got a lot of them up there in MS land. He's closer to you. But at any rate, yeah, it's always good to mention it on the net and kind of see what we come up with to be able to help each other in that in those regards. So that's really great. All right. Boy, this is enjoyable tonight. Everybody, big signals. And Paul, welcome back. Yeah, we have been concerned. I've heard you on, off and on, and, I thought you were doing okay, but now we understand with the winds and raining and the wires and all that. So, glad you could get on. The 350 sounds fine. I just might mention, I'm on the modern rig here. So is Kevin, I think. Anyway, we're sitting on 3895.25. Skippy drifted high a little bit, and others kind of zeroed in on you. So you might just, so we can kind of maybe try to stay around the same frequency there, 39.25. Is where I'm sitting with the 7600. And let me see. Yeah, I want to say, Paul, you sound good on the Swan 350 into a 30S1. What a combination! That's interesting. And fine on your second COVID. Yeah, a lot of people have now gotten their second shot. I just kind of chosen to wait around for the Johnson thing. Felt like I wanted to go that way, and of course I've been through this thing, and who knows how long the antibiotics last. Nobody has an exact thought on that. Different ones have tons of opinions, but so far so good. We've had a lot of people with COVID around us. Nothing after last year in July, and so I think Becky and I are okay. But we're waiting to hear when the Johnson stuff shows up in the area here. Maybe we'll go that route. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, on the link. Yeah, see, there's the deal. It's the link. That's the key, Skip. It's not an email. You got to just click on the link, and that'll get you there. And John, you might, maybe there's others too, but my friend Phil there, N6WHK, he can pass on this information. But Phil, if you get that, then you can just click on the link, and you'll be on the email list there, or the IO site, the groups for the different things. I know it was interesting. I didn't realize when I got on there, John, that all the groups were listed. So all the groups that I'm a part of are just listed right there, like the vintage. So that was kind of interesting to see. And let's see, today I think I located an amplifier and a tuner for a friend of mine that's coming out here this month and asked me to look around for him. So on the SwapNet I found a Clipperton L. Gonna need some tubes, but it looked good. He sent me pictures, and a tuner, which I've been looking for, and he actually had the one that I wanted to try to find. So at a good price up there in Lakewood. So sometime next week I got to figure out my schedule and take a drive up to Lakewood and pick that up, and then with Steve, KF6FYD, and he might be starting to get on a little bit with us on some of this. I told him he needed to really get his drakes fired up and get on the Drake Collectors Net. So he might do that Thursday. Let's see what happens. I'll remind him if I talk to him. And we've got to back off on our getting on every night. We've been doing that for so many years, so we're just gonna do that when we have some information to pass along. Once a week, twice a week, something like that, maybe. And so that'll help get our Steve maybe get on some of the other net activity that he wasn't getting on. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's see. It goes to you, my neighbor, Bill. Thanks for being in there tonight. Give John your info. Maybe he can get you on that group thing too, and let's just be one happy family, huh? N6 WHK to take it. W6YEC.
W6YEC. November 6th, Whiskey Hotel Kilo. Well, fine business. Y'all be interested in that. Let me know what's going on and what's like on the bidding. group there, what the topic of conversation is going to be, or things on this order. That kind of sounds interesting. Well, I don't have that much vintage equipment here. I have the Swan and my little green machine, which I still like real well. And of course, I've got the modern equipment. I got the AM equipment over here on the other side of the room, which I operate now and again. And I get a kick out of that. I get to enjoy all this equipment. I enjoy the topic because most of it is, a lot of it is Greek to me, and I'm learning. So anytime I can get a little bit more knowledge, that's better off for it. Anyway, I'm just shooting my last time around. I have not been sleeping well lately, and I was up to midnight last night, up and down, up and down. So I'm going to make this my final. Everybody have a very fine evening. Enjoy, and glad to be allowed in with the group. So with that, 86 BWS, November 6th, Whiskey Hotel Kilo.
Alright, M6WHK, 86 BWS, and hello Paul, and whoops, I'm going to turn the volume down on the KFF. Paul and Kevin and Mike, good hearing you guys in here, and yeah, well, I drug out the AT1. I'd recapped the power supply, but I wanted to get on the novice radio roundup, and I thought, well, I'll put down the AT1 and check it out. Well, it's kind of a bust, solid state in the power supply, and it's putting like 480 volts on the 6AG7. And then I was going to plug in, I've got a homebrew VFO that got with it, and that's the same thing, a 6AG7 oscillator and then a 6C4 cathode follower, but I plugged that in, it'd be getting 480 volts on it too. And I looked it up, and maximum plate voltage on the 6AG7 is 300 volts. So, well, I don't know why Heathkit didn't design, for having, in the manual it shows like 430 volts. So anyway, I said, well, I haven't got time to do all the modifications of that, so I guess if I'm going to get on that novice radio roundup, I'm going to have to pull down the DX60 or the Globe Scout, one of those two, or I could cheat and use the DX100 or the Apache or something like that, but I wanted to get an actual novice rig going, but anyway, I've been listening to CW so I can try and brush up, because I haven't made a CW contact in about 22 years, so I'm a little bit rusty there. And who was it? Somebody was mentioning, the Hickok tube tester, checking the 807s and you can check 811s, 572Bs. That's why I like Hickok tube checkers. I've got 3 of them. Actually 4, but one of them got ruined in the fire and I haven't tried to restore it. So I've rambled on enough. Let me send it over to you, Jay. WB6MWL, KD6BWS. Okay, very fine. They're around KD6BWS, WB6MWL. Yeah, it's been about the same length of time since I've been on CW. I can still copy it, but not like I used to. So I probably have to start out with the novices there too. That's for sure. So we're only running about this NCX5 is putting out about 125 or 30 watts
just a quick one on that. Yeah, DJ was on the other day. I was thinking about him too. I hadn't heard him for a while. And I'm trying to think, I think he was, I can't remember if it was the AM net or the Vintage. I think it was the Vintage net anyway, but it might have been the AM. Anyway, it was good to know that it seems like he was doing okay, Jay. Go ahead, Paul.
All righty. Thank you, George. So W6YEC and the gang, K2LMQ. Okay, great. Well, it's wonderful to hear everybody tonight and to catch up on things. And there's nobody tonight, even Jay, that's under 40 over 9 here in Kingman. Everybody's rolling and beautiful. What an absolute pleasure. I was on the novice roundup earlier, listening there, and on 80, and the band was just terrible. There was all kinds of foreign crap coming in, strange signals, but it's beautiful up here, and that's what counts. Ron, fine on your AT1 there. Yeah, I have them here, and I think I had one as a kid too, and I think every one of them that I have ever seen has been wired differently. You know, it's just whoever did it, and some of the stuff is atrocious. Not that mine's so great, and but that's okay. And you guys are worried about your slow speed. A good, very good portion of the novice roundup is good. This guy's sending slowly. And I had a fantastic QSO with a guy in Michigan last night on 80 meter CW. I was running my ART-13 at 75 watts and listening on the Wells Gardner R805, which is similar to the NC101X. And it was fine, and the QSO was probably 6 or 7 words a minute. He's very, very slow, and he's typical of a lot of the guys that were on there, so it's not a problem at all. A couple of comments here. But what I've got going in there now is I have the Konar set up, ready to go on there. Those are the ones that were put up by National Radio Institute. And my Konar's only putting out about 10 watts because I'm using an HT18 to drive it. And the HT18 is a little weak, but I got that and the Konar receiver ready to go for tomorrow. And I have a DX20 here that I finished up a couple of weeks ago that I had paid $5 for at a Swan meet about 20 years ago when I originally opened it up to get a tube out of it, and it looked so good. I just modified it for VFO and everything, and I'm using that also. So there's a little bit of everything. Oh yeah, and the big one, and I have my TCS system on. And the big one that I had on the CX exchange, the Classic exchange, was my, God, the number just blanked out of my head now. The one that comes out of the tank set, the Sherman tank set, the WS-19, out of the Sherman tank, and I've had some nice QSOs with that already, so it's been a blast the last few days here. And then there's a couple of comments when they got my shot today, and you had mentioned, George had mentioned Johnson & Johnson. My shot was Moderna, and the next, both of them were Moderna, and she said around May they're getting in Johnson & Johnson stuff. But no matter whose it is, it's going to be a 2-shot deal. And after 2 shots, you have something like a 96% chance of avoiding anything serious. You can still get it, but that could stop you from hospitalization and everything. And that starts 2 weeks after your second shot there. So that's the information here.
vote next year. K6LGL on the gate, K2LMQ.
Okay, Paul. Most of all, I'm just glad that you're well. And congratulations on completing. Next week, we should take care of the other part 2 of the Moderna. It goes to Kevin, and then Kevin, please turn it over to Mike and W7MS. So over to you, Kevin. K6 Little Green Light.
On the group WA6JKN, I'm on 3895.25, the frequency that George gave out there, because people are drifting and other things, and so I decided to just stay here and not go up in frequency and whatnot. So anyway, I'm operating remote. I'm using all battery operation here with the laptop, the RSBA1 version 2 software, which is ICOM software, and I'm using my iPhone as the hotspot for connecting to the internet. So that's the setup here. I'm in Santan Valley. I spent the day visiting George W8 Victor Golf all day today. We had a great time. Boy, he's got quite the shack down there, and all the homebrew gear is just fabulous. And we talked about the history of ham radio, and of course the time we spent working on the various military programs. We crossed the paths program-wise on many strategic programs, so that was really neat to swap war stories, so to speak, and had a great time. I think the highlight for me when I first got here was I went over to pick up my 2 grandsons over there at the high school. The campus is the largest campus I've ever seen for a high school, and there's over 6,000 students attending school. Yeah, it's the XYL just corrected me. It's a junior high and high school combination. So anyway, the number of students is over 6,000, and boy, was it really heartwarming to see the massive exit of all these students leaving their classrooms off campus there. It was just a beautiful sight to see. And so anyway, I'll just leave it at that. So that was a good feeling to see a little bit of normalcy there. These kids have been in school for quite a while, and they're as happy as can be. All right, well that's it for me. Back. I guess it goes back over to you, Skip. K6LGL.
Oh boy.
WA6.
Well, it goes to Mike, W7. Looks like you got a little problem there with your timeout timer. Go ahead, Mike. W7MS and the Swan Group.
K6 Little Green Light. Okay, well, thanks, Skip. K6LGL, W2MS, Mike and Rio. And good reception from Kevin on the Apple. It sounds great, just like it did last night. So that's doing quite well. So yeah, I'm running the latest the Cubic Astra 103, and I was a little late in firing up here because I'm diddling with the ALC adjustment in the transceiver. It's still not happy with the way I've got it set up, but it's good enough for now, I think. And that's driving a 30S1 amplifier that's connected up to a 75-meter dipole cut to this frequency. And I like Kevin's frequency, so good job, Kevin. And comments, really impressed with Paul's array of rigs that he's recently had on the air, and great on the WS-19. I think that was the one that caught my attention. It's a really cool transmitter receiver. I've got one in the house here, and good job on CW. And probably, since it's not one of the later versions of the 19, probably reinserting the CW key to fire the puppy up. And let's see, I think I'm still doing okay. This thing isn't quite driving the 30S1 the way I like it, but it's working well enough. But a nice day in Reno, and I'm sure probably John's already given the Nevada weather report, so it's been quite a pleasant day. And looking forward to more as we enter the time change, upcoming time change, and also seasonal change to spring. And Ron Gray on the AT1 made a note of that. Thanks, Jay, for the acknowledgement. Nice to meet you. I don't think we've conversed before, but this is my first time operating on Saturday evening here on 3895. So life is good. Got quite a few projects today, but we'll leave it at that. And this frequency will give me a chance to exercise my windfall of Swan radios from Sun Valley, Nevada. And John, so there that. The cache of Swan radios that came out of that pilot stop over from Val's estate. So with that, back to you, Skip. Nice to hear you. And of course, John, those 807s are out in the house garage. And I've got your name on it, no problem. I've got a bushel basket. And glad to share some of those and put them to use. K6LGLW7MS.
Well, Mike, that was a pleasant surprise that you dropped in. And thank you for your kind offer there. W7MS and the SwanNet K6LGL. Well, got quite a group here tonight. Very good, and mostly we were concerned what happened to Paul. Haven't heard him much there on any band, but he said he had problems with weather and lightning and other things, so he played it on the safe side. Grounded the antennas, which is not a bad idea. The important thing is that, you are above ground. We all should be above ground. Hi. Okay. Well, climbing on the rig on the 103, it's an interesting one. And there was also 102 Swan that was shortly followed by 103. And then there's supposed to be 104, one that he, I think, built a couple of prototypes, Herb Johnson, and never got it built. He ran out of money and finances, so it goes. But some interesting projects. Well, anyway, everybody's running Swan here, with the exception of Mike and George. So the 350 sounds good, and that I'm still on the old 500, the drifty 500. It tends to creep a little bit, and you can warm it up. Well, maybe if I warmed it up for an hour and a half, it may stabilize a little more. I only did it a half an hour, so it's just not doing what it could be. So it goes. Well, let's do the final round, and sure good to hear everybody. And Mike, we're here every Saturday about I start listening a little after 7 or so, and then the net gets going about 7:30. Most everybody shows up. We used to be at 8, and then I think that time changes will probably go to 8 o'clock for the net like used to be. And John, if I don't luck out and logging into that, consider me logged in on the analog mode via the air. So you could register me just in case. That'd be my third try. And I had this email address, I don't know, 20 years, something like that. It's still on, pretty close to it. All right. So let's do another one. Over to you, George, and find on your various projects there, and Phil, the 270s. Everybody sounds nice. Good, strong signal. Let's hope the band doesn't crap out before we finish the net. W6YEC and the Swan Group. Okay, 6 little green lights.
I think it goes to John first. I came in after John, so he's so confused. So John, go ahead. You can give it to me.
You're right. Over to you, John. My apologies. K6LGL.
No big deal. For some reason, I don't know, George. We always get mixed up. George always cleans it up, though. I just let him handle it, and he always gets it set up. So I don't know. No big deal. That's what's nice about this Saturday night group. It's just kick back and no hassles, man. I like it. So kudos to Skip for running things here. And Mike, thanks again for the offer. I'll most likely take you up on that. I'll give you a phone call or whatever, and we'll go from there. And let's see. Oh, I took care of Phil. I sent Phil WHK an invite. Skip, I sent you another one. What I did notice, I've never done any, set up a groups IO till I did this one, and I'm pretty computer savvy. If I click the activity link, I see Skip. It says, John, thanks for setting up this site for Swan. So, but there's no messages. It's an activity. It's on the activity group, but it's not on the message archive. So, and it doesn't show you as a member. So, if you get it again, Skip, click on the link and go from there. And we'll figure it out one way or another. Like you said, we can always just put this in the dumpster too. I just figure it was kind of fun to mess with. Since we were having problems a while back with band conditions, could at least announce, hey, we're coming on at 7 or 8 or whatever, and people would get the message. But no big deal. I'm not sweating it, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm on the Swan 350B single final tonight, and I'm exciting the NCL 2000, and I put it back to the low power, the CW switch. So I'm running about, I don't know, 500-600 watts. And Jay, I wanted to say, strongest I've ever heard you, 20 to 30 over here on your 100 watts or so on the NCX5. I had one of those before, by the way. Interesting rig. Actually, I'm thinking like, hey, this would look nice with the National setup, but with the National NCL 2000, but I got enough damn radios. Anyways, let's see what else. Trying to think. That's about it, I guess. I'll send my 7.3. And I've been videoing the S meter, and we'll see how that turns out. I was going to just use the SDR Play receiver, and just makes it a lot easier. I can record right off the computer with its own built-in thing. Maybe I'll try that next week, but I'd have to use probably the Helicrafters or something to transmit out on. Be kind of a hassle, switching back and forth and everything. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying I'm going to do it every week. It's just kind of experiment. So I'll probably put it on YouTube and then link it over to the group. And if people can't get on the group, they can at least get the link, and somebody will pass it around, or watch it on YouTube if you want to hear yourself. And Paul, I was chasing you around pretty good. I thought I was on this old 175 Swan I used to have years ago, and you couldn't take your hand off the VFO, man. That baby was running like a marathon. But you're fine. You're fine, man. It's the fun. That's why we're here, to play with this kind of stuff. So that's what I like about it. No hassles too. Okay, George. Thanks for getting me fixed up there, and I'm going to say my 7.3, and we'll listen out. Mr. YEC, it's all yours. And 9 AMI.
Yeah, okay, real good, John, and everybody else, WS6 YEC. Real fine, 100% copy. If I can, let's see Jay, the NCX5 sounds great, and yeah, you're 140 watts, 150 watts, 50 watts, something like that. Whenever that thing's running, it was doing a great job. And congratulations on that. I hope you're having fun with it. I'll let Chris know I talked to you and heard the NCX5 on again tonight. And I'll really give him a hard time telling him, why did you let that go? It's such a beautiful radio. I was giving him a hard time before. I just never had an interest in one and all of that. So, anyway, I give Chris too hard of a time. I got to be careful. But at any rate, I'll let him know that I heard the NCX5, and it sure does sound good with Jay's voice. Hey, Paul, if you don't mind, I am going to be real critical. That Swan, I would not run it with the 30F1. You are very, very wide on the spectrum scope. And then with it drifting, it was about 800 cycles. Way out from I should say, from $38.95. So 800. So it's about 550 seconds. I get to 50 bucks. But at any rate, I would not use it with the 30F1. Like I said, it's very, very broad. And then distortion on it. I know I've heard you so much nicer, so much cleaner, and you got a big loud signal. So I would run that Swan barefoot if it was mine. And I certainly wouldn't run it into a 30F1. And I think Mike, I forget what you were using, but you were using it. But you were out there a little bit too. So anyway, just a thought, Paul, on that Swan and the 30F1. At any rate, there's that. And okay, on the radio, on the DX20, that was my first radio. So, and I've got one over here for CW work. It's really clean. I did lose the transformer on it a while back, and that bummed me because it had the original transformer. That was a weak point in that radio. But I found the transformer, and it's worked great. It's right back to where it was. And just a great radio. Of course, my other DX20 I modified for AM with changing a bunch of caps in there and building a modulator for it. And I get great reports on it. So that was my boyhood dream. So I'm sticking with it even at 76. That's been a real joy to be able to get that accomplished, and I'm getting wonderful reports. Since I got rid of the Ranger, the A4, that's my main rig on 75, although I've left the Viking 2 and I've got my Dompton Twins. But the DX20 really does a great job for me. And okay, Ron, on having a problem there getting the A1 going, so I think that's what you said. And so maybe going with the DX60. I've got my Adventure going, but I've got it hooked up to a screen modulator. All I have to do is throw a switch and then CW. So I could use that for the Roundup, because I've got it linked in with an S40, a Helicopter's S40. So that would be just switch the screen modulator off and be an ideal, novice type rig setup. And that would go back many, many, many years. All right, it's time to start wrapping it up. So it's been really good, and thanks Skip for being there running things. Thanks John for all the work there on the web. And I think it's just Skip hit that link. I think that'll take care of that issue. Not send an email, but hit that link if you send him another email. And let's see, that's it. And Kevin, you're sounding great, very interesting on the school. I think I heard you mention that the other night, that large school, and junior high school, that's interesting. But I bet that was thrilling with everything that's been going on to see all those young people together and what have you. So Kevin, am I right? Now where am I here? I'm sending it to Phil. I'm getting ahead of myself. Wanted to comment on you there, Kevin. The remote sounds wonderful. All right. Take it away, Phil, and I'll make this my 73s. N6, WHK, W6YEC.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's the band? Now, okay. Go ahead, Ron.
All right, George, W6YEC and the Swan Group, KE6VWS. Yeah, fabulous signals tonight. Everybody's just smoking in here. I don't remember the last time I saw you hit me 40 over, but on your last transmission, you peaked up to 40 over. So I'll tell you what, the band's wide open tonight. Yeah, everybody's just beautiful copy, so this is great. Boy, we've fought propagation so much for the last 2 or 3 years. It's refreshing to see that maybe things are going to be improving, and we're getting sunspots. We're in the new sunspot cycle, and it looks like we'll have some good nights. And let's see. I might pull down one of we got both those DX60s working great for, on AM, and of course they work CW into the CW portion of the band. They were too high up to use, so, but if all else fails, heck, I might just use the patch here, the DX100. Take it. I'll say I'm using the DX60. Oh, mercy. And, all right, let's see. Okay, well, let me get it over to you, Jay. WB6MWL, KD6BWS, 73, everybody. Okay, Ron, very fine. KD6BWS, WB6MWL. Yeah, you were hitting 25 to 30 over that time, Ron. Boy, you sure don't need an amplifier tonight, that's for sure, but, yeah, very fine mic on your Cubic. I have a Cubic 102 BXA here. I really love that radio. I've had it since Henry Radio was closing them out there. I bought it at the West LA store. Got a heck of a deal on it. And it's been a great radio. Had a couple little problems with it, but nothing major. So they're pretty well made. And let's see, I don't really have a whole lot else. Yeah, I never had a national, I had a national receiver one time, but I never had a national transceiver, so I traded Chris a 500CX for this NCX5, and yeah, I learned quite a bit about it, so I kind of like it. It's a pretty nice radio. This is the Mark II version. They put the 6 JB6s in these, and they have the 2.8 filter, the same filter made by the same company that made them for Swan, but they're just slightly wider, and I think that's why these sound pretty good. They're 2.8 instead of 2.7. So anyway, I'll say 73s, and I guess I turn it over to Paul there. I don't think Paul signed out yet. So very good to talk to everybody, and Kevin, have a safe trip back to whenever you're coming back from Arizona. And I know exactly where you're at there. I used to have a friend down that way in Arizona. He passed away, unfortunately. So, on to you, Paul. K2LNQ there at Kingman, WB6MWL.
Hi, WB6M.
Jesus.
WB6MWL. K2LNQ. Okay, I cut the mic game from back. I didn't realize it was that wide here. So my signal might be down a little bit. It looks like it's down on the power out meter. Anyway, I appreciate George. I appreciate your comments on it, and we'll certainly consider that. It's just been set up with the other Swan next to the 30S1, and its turn came up, so that was that. Anyway, a couple of comments here for Mike in Reno. Yes, the WS19 that I have requires plugging in the key all the way to make it work. It gets a little confusing at times, but the thing works out real good. I've had some good decent Q-totes with it on 80-meter CW, and maybe we can do that sometime. That would be great. I think it runs about 15, 16 watts, something like that. That's a story from here. Skip, a big thank you for taking the net tonight, and as always, taking care of me. And great to hear everybody. We'll see you guys again soon. Hopefully next week, and maybe on the other net as well. So, Skip, I'm not sure who has signed out here. I'm giving it back to you. And 73's all. Everybody stay safe and see you. K6LGL, K2LNQ.
Okay, Paul, well, you sound a little bit better now. You were a little wide earlier and closer to frequency there. Well, good luck. Thanks for being there. I'm not sure if Kevin and I think Mike is still in there from Reno. So, Kevin, I don't know. He may still be there, and That remote sounds pretty good there from Arizona. So if he's not there, then you pick it up, Mike. W6JKN and Bus 73s for those of you who checked in. Thank you for supporting this net. And, John, you did receive my letter, and I thank you for setting up that thing. And the letter said, please consider me, an active member as well as a supporter. So if you still need a formal registration, okay, I'll get around to it. But that would be the third attempt. Okay, over to you there, Kevin, and if she is not there, then Mike, you pick it up. And hey, thanks for all of you showing up and sharing little bits of your life with us. K6LGL.
K6LGL in the group, WA6JKN. My business, Skip, and Mike, my apologies for forgetting to turn it over to you the last time around. I mean, it's not like I didn't have it written down here. I just failed to look down at what I had written, and for some reason I had it locked in my brain to give it back to Skip. But anyway, my apologies there, Mike. And yeah, good deal on the 807s and helping out John and Ron. Your turning back the game that did help, but they probably can do a little bit more on that. Let's see. Thank you, Jay, for the good comments on the travels back. And that reminds me, this is for VWS. Return trip, I drive right by this big old sign off the 10 that says Joshua Tree. And I'm thinking, I got to stop by and meet Ron. So I'm thinking Thursday, maybe Friday, I'll be heading back, and maybe we could do a lunch or a late lunch or a dinner somewhere between, I don't know what's out there, between 10 and Joshua Tree where you live. We can get together there, my tree, and that would be really nice thing to do there. Put a face to a name, and let's see, well, the alligator, yes, I have it set for 3 minutes. I think it's a little less than that, actually. And so I'm always racing to finish up what I want to say, and that also adds to confusion. But, it just dawned on me with all of the protection circuits I have designed and added in the remote operation with the dead man switch remote, that stuff. I have 3 levels of dead switches, and I don't need the timer to be set at 3. I can probably kick it up to 5 or 10 minutes, 8 minutes. And I can always hit the kill switch on my iPhone, and it will just shut everything down at once. So there you go. 73, take care. Thanks for being there. Thank you for the comments on the remote operation. It's just been working pretty much flawlessly. I'm very, very happy with it. And so with that, good night. Skip, thanks for the running the SwanNet. And looking forward to putting an old Swan 350 on next week, hopefully. So with that, good night, everybody. Back to you. No, Mike. I got to send it to Mike. Almost did it twice, Mike. W7MS. Caught myself. WA6JKN.
Well, thanks, Kevin. WA6JKN, W7MS. No problem. That's fine. You're on vacation, so that's good. And let me run things down here a little bit. W7MS here, and Comrade 73 to everybody signing. Ron, Jay, thanks for the comments on the Astro 102. And I would assume this is a Swan because when you look in the manual, most of the schematics are still, the caption is still Swan. So, of course, this is basically just a work band version of the 102 with the Cubic's name on it and a few other minor changes. And let me see, fine on the wireless says 19, you bet. What a way to TRA tank radio by removing and inserting the CW key. And of course, Kevin doing great. And it looks like you and Ron are going to have a date, so that's excellent. George comments I appreciate that, because something is not right here, and I'll explain a few things. The 102s, 103s, et cetera, do not have an external amplifier ALC. The internal ALC in this solid-state radio is pretty rudimentary. Well, that kind of figures it's a Swan at heart. And it's basically just a Ford power detector that drives the biases, the gate of the MOSFET. And it's just not quite right. And I think I also may have a flat tube in the 30S1. I've only used it as a AM linear. And it's worked just fine, but this is the first time on sideband. I've drawn some control grid current. It's not putting out what I would expect power-wise, and it's just, there's some issues here, and that's why I was late, because I was late. I had the intention of getting out here sometime today and going through this stuff to kind of get this thing fine-tuned and sea trial before tonight. So this is live sea trials here. And if I've got a flat Porsche X1000, no problem. I've got some out in the garage. It's organic time. I've got a bunch of full load of poles, so that may in fact be the case, but not having an external amp ALC, and it's really rudimentary internal ALC. Bless Swan. They're good at efficient circuits, let's say, or cost-reduced circuits. It's just something's not right here. So I totally appreciate the comment, George. No, it's not a surprise at all. But with that, thanks, Skip. Appreciate this will be fun. And I think I've got a 500, a 500C, a 700CS, and a Signet in the pile of stuff in Studio C, so I can fire those up and run some power, and we will and drift in and about 3895 like the rest of you guys. It's all fun. So Skip, K6LGL W7MS.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. W7MS and the Swan Group, K6LGL. Well, you'll have an opportunity to fire up, the 700 and the 500 and whatever else you've got there, Signet, the 270 series, and that. Hey, it all started on the Swan and an Astro and Cubic. It was all under the hand of Herb Johnson, W6QKI. Even though he didn't design them all, but he had people do it for him, but his hand is in many of those radios too. So, too bad that he ran out of money there and couldn't build a 104 and the more and more advanced stuff, but so it goes. Gentlemen, it was my pleasure hosting your that. Thank you for showing up. Best of 73s. Enjoy the weekend. And hey, I have a feeling that the Los Angeles School District, they're talking about going back to school with a certain amount of that, probably April, May type frame. This is what the Santa Monica School District is also. So kids will be going back to school now that we have a significant decrease in infection rate and death rate. Once I think we inoculate about 100 million Americans, and especially a significant number here in the Southwest, you will see things begin to return back to normal. 73s, everybody. Take care, and thanks for supporting the group. We appreciate it all. Good evening.